Hello and welcome to Last Man Standing. I'm Dan Hollifield. We had an excellent Stupid O'Clock tonight. I do recommend you go back and watch that on the replay if you didn't catch it live. And if you didn't catch it live, well, replay's your only option. So click back and go see that after this. So tonight we have Jimmy and Rich here, and we are going to try and exceed the insanity that we caused on Stupid O'Clock. Oh, Rich has got the kitty. Yes.
Good morning,
Yes, this is
everyone.
his first night in the apartment, so he was hiding for about
Oh,
an hour or two. He finally
That
came
is
out and,
that is a huge kitty cat.
oh yes, yes, he got to be very fat, and he's actually lost weight.
oh
I
wow.
mean, that's a cat built on a larger scale than ours. Ours are just fat. That one's
His
kind of
mom had some Maine Coon in her.
Ah,
yes. That goes a long way towards explaining it, indeed.
hmm
She
Ah,
was tiny for having Maine Coon in her, but all the kittens were just
big.
big.
big old fluffy
Yes.
jerks. He's the only one that gets to live here rent free.
Ah,
Hmm?
the others you charge.
Well, he we had to get certified as an emotional support animal.
Ah,
Otherwise, we'd only be
Wow.
able to have two animals.
wait a minute.
So since he's
Don't
not a pet,
don't all cats qualify for that?
that's what I thought. But
Um,
Hey, I've got 14 out here. They're willing to file a lawsuit right now. Well, no, 12, 12. I miscounted. Some of them move quickly. Uh,
tonight I'm his emotional support human.
ah, indeed.
Your food's in the other room, buddy. Go.
Oh, and
Either door.
Donna's with us in the audience. So,
Hi,
Good
Donna.
and
morning, Donna.
and somebody else who is choosing to remain nameless, but maybe they will comment later and tell us who they are. I also sent Keisha an invitation just in case uh, Dolores
JP and
goes
I
to
talk
sleep,
all again. Yeah.
and uh, and Ryan Permisson. I sent him an invitation just in case we need an emergency substitute bill. I shouldn't say things like that. That's unkind.
But to go back to stupid o'clock for a second, you guys were talking about people who do a good job uh, filling the role of the doctor. After
Yes.
the word abomination was mentioned, Tim Roth.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, uh,
A lot of people forget he's
thankfully,
British, or at least
thankfully,
some flavor of UK.
we don't get paid much attention to when they're doing casting calls in the UK, but um, a lot of our choices were very good ones, I would
Oh yeah.
say.
I would like to see
Especially if
Hiddleston as the doctor.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
He gives me that David Tennant. He's able to go from completely serious to psychopath in half a heartbeat.
yeah, does it really well too. And
Yes.
that's exactly the kind of thing that you're looking for,
hmm?
uh, as well as being good with children and being able to spout technobabble at the drop of a fizz, um, for want
Any
of a
kind
better
of
word.
I
any
mean,
kind of babble at the drop of a sonic screwdriver.
a lot of actors would be great for Doctor Who, and a lot of them can pull it off. The problem is the writing lately. Like,
That was my greatest complaint about the last 3 years is
yeah,
the writing was not up to par. Um, Now, Jodie is a fantastic actress, and
yes.
she's proved that in other shows. And she did not get the scripts with good enough writing to where she could shine. Um, and that's
But at
that's
least the writing was better than the Missy arc.
No.
No, no.
I'd have to disagree there.
It started going down
It
already.
it was um, Chibnall is a fine writer for drama, soap opera style. He's not. Although he has been a longtime Doctor Who fan, he does not understand science fiction. Obviously, no. He can write good scripts. Other shows have proved that, but they were not science fiction shows.
Yeah.
They were dramas. Um, now, as much as he protested that he could do Doctor Who better than anybody else, he proved that no, he couldn't.
No.
And um Moffat did really, really well. Russell T Davies did really, really well. Both of them have their
Hmm.
faults. They're not 100% all the time, but on average, it's more engaging
Yes.
than Chris Chibnall's writing has been the last 3 years. The best scripts for Jodie were the ones where uh, they were co-writers or total other writers,
Yeah.
and not just the showrunner doing the writing. Now, as Donna pointed out, Peter Capaldi did not have the
Yeah.
best scripts in the world all the time. He had some really outstanding ones that he
Yes.
just flamed up like an exploding star and just did fantastic things. The real strength of the show has always been the uh, the masterpiece theater acting with the Dark Shadows budget,
Hmm.
and 90% of that is down to the actual writing. Um, if you've got a good story and you pay attention to character development within the story itself, and if you've got a story arc within the arc itself uh, across several stories, then you can actually do something amazing.
Yes.
And you will see character development. You will see exciting um, and engaging stories. But if you don't have that grasp of the purpose of science fiction, then you're gonna turn out something that looks good on paper but not on the screen.
Yeah.
Um, and I say that as a writer who's only got a few things out there, so uh, I'm not a big league pro by any stretch of the imagination. That I have been at it for a couple of decades now, so I'm seeing improvement. I keep going. Uh, oh heavens! I can't wait till I get to. I've got to finish the fantasy story now. It's starting to drive me nuts. I've got to finish this thing, and I've got to do the painting I want to do. I proposed
Dan,
it
is it
to.
really a drive? More of a brisk walk.
Well, it's kind of a lazy saunter, actually.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, the people have asked if insanity runs in my family. No, sits on the front porch with a glass of sweet tea and goes, "Hey, here I am." Um,
Drives a Lamborghini in mine.
well, wi- with my family, it'd be a Ford
The only thing
tractor,
with
but
the
they'd
swing gear
call it a
ride in my family is
Lamborghini.
diabetes.
Oh, oh heavens! Now, to to quote
So
somebody who's
Barry finally
writing
found his
songs with
food.
sticks, where do we go from here? Um, no, well,
Pardon?
that was Alan Parsons. Excuse me. Um,
So Barry finally found his food. It's on the bathroom counter. It's up so that the dogs can't get to it because the amount of protein in cat food is toxic to dogs.
Yeah.
We accidentally poisoned one of our dogs that way. We didn't know that. Found out
oh,
afterwards. But um, we forgot that the mirrors in the new apartment are coming all the way down to the countertop. So he jumps up on the counter and about flips the hell out, seeing another cat. And he's like, wait, no. And then goes to eat
that's
his
my
food.
food. Get away from that. Uh, well, we found
There's
out
two dishes. They're
tonight.
both.
We found out tonight that we have two of the cats that do not like liver.
Huh.
Lindsay went to the trouble of buying. I do believe it was chicken liver, not calf's liver, um, and cooking it and mixing portions with the canned and dried cat food that she gives them. She does a mix of the dried and the canned, and set it out there. And it turns out that Diddles and Ocelot will not eat liver,
Huh.
which I agree. I won't eat liver either. Uh, I would. My mom and dad found out I'd rather take a whipping than to eat a bite of liver. Now
I got the same with beets.
my mom
When
will
I was
make
younger, I was the same way.
my mom will make stuffing dressing for Thanksgiving, and she will chop up liver very finely and put it in that. I will eat I will eat buckets full of that. No, but you give me liver and onions, and I'll eat the onions and go. I'll take a whipping before I'll eat the rest of this, um, and be proud to do so. Thank you.
Same way. Most of
Uh,
my life, could not stand it.
it's just
The
it's
other
there's
day,
something about it
we
that
ordered from a local restaurant, and Dad got that, and I tried it. I'm like, it's been a couple decades. Tried it. Damn it, it's actually good.
mm, well,
Liver is pretty good, yeah. But you gotta know how to make it, like all things.
mm,
I think my mom just cooked it horribly.
well,
That is entirely
I don't know
possible.
about that. There's been things that I used to love that I no longer I cannot stand. I mean, uh, I used to eat bologna sandwiches, and now I cannot stand bologna. Um, and I don't know why. I still like hot dogs, and it's the same stuff, just a different
Mhm.
shape. Um, what on
Ooh,
earth
what's
have
that?
you got there?
Yeah,
That is a
So
chainmail Thor's hammer, isn't it?
it's a meal in there.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Sweet,
Made by me.
sweet, awesome.
very neat.
I get bored very easily, so I make a bunch of stuff and I try a bunch of stuff.
Well, tell me what that feels like.
Get bored very easily, or you
Yeah,
already know you
no,
make a bunch of stuff.
exactly. Like, what does boredom feels like? Feel like?
Feels like you need to do more stuff.
But it doesn't. I guess I'm always
It's
bored
very
though.
likely that I've got ADHD because I can be hip deep in stuff and still get bored with what I'm doing and be like, okay, what's this do?
Nothing
Yeah,
till I play with it.
I I got so
Ah,
many things to do nowadays. It's insane. Like it's getting really bad right now. Like the last month has been very, very extreme for me, even for my standards as working 160 hours a week. No, like this is absolute insanity. So I'm glad it's finally lowering again, but oh man, don't go into
I
publishing,
wish I
people.
had a tenth of 1% of your stamina, sir.
Eh, Well, you got to keep in mind my side job. I'm working full time right now, so that is usually 50 to 60 hours a week, sometimes 70 or 80. And then every other waking moment, I'm doing podcast promotions, drawing, and all the other things. My weekends are stuffed.
Mm. Well, we're just glad to be part of
Yeah,
your
like I
stuffing.
said, I wish I had 1/10 of your part of that,
If you
and I
want,
just get exhausted.
if you want something done, ask a busy person. So I try to keep myself as busy as possible because I know I get things done. Because I may not have ADD, but I work best when there's, a load on my to-do list where I'm like, I can switch throughout the day. I can't do two things. I cannot do two things at once, but I'm damn good at doing five things one after the other.
It's not multitasking, it's stacking.
Yes, exactly.
Playing Jenga with your schedule.
And
Which brick can I pull out and use right now
yep,
before the entire tower of blocks hits me in the head? Ah.
those are the deadlines. I'm half a year late on my newest comic, and honestly, I don't care because there's so many other good things going on that it's worth that being
Mm.
late. But yeah, like this Saturday, I will be, next Saturday, I will be at another convention. I was very glad to have this one off
Hmm.
to catch up on sleep mainly, because normally, on last weekend I went to a Renaissance fair, and I've been going there for 14 years now. So I'm known there. Captain Shitfaced is a very known name. Yes, I'm the kind of guy that walks onto the campsite with two boxes filled with mead bought on the Renaissance fair, under my arms, going, "Hey guys, it's time for a party." But this year I was at the writers' market, and I had comic monopoly, so I tripled my sales.
Oh,
Like
wow,
I
that's
tripled
good.
my sales records. It was absolute insanity. But um, so I didn't drink much because I had to pull 11-hour days
Mm.
there, talking to people, which is pretty exhausting. I prefer this. Um, and then normally on Monday we get back, and I sleep away the afternoon because I've been partying all weekend. I couldn't because an hour after I got home, I had new books delivered. In fact, Tall Tales by Daphne Lage and
All
Jamie Collier.
right.
So that is the first of three new series. Um, then I got my cat delivered by my grandma because she was babysitting her. And there went my afternoon. So then Tuesday through Friday, I was working my side job again, which are 12-hour days.
I remember those well.
Yeah.
Let's
Uh,
see, I think it's 17 more months or 77 more weeks till I retire. Um, I haven't looked at my check balancing spreadsheet today, which has the countdown clocks on it, in months, weeks, well, years, months, weeks, days, hours, seconds. You know, hey, I got bored one day, so I went through the whole damn scale. Um, Takes up the entire top line of the spreadsheet, and I've got a fairly wide monitor here. But uh, I am looking forward to being a full-time writer and a part-time goof off. Um, ooh,
Oh, we lost Rich.
yes. Well, hopefully he'll find his way back. Um,
Probably.
now the last 3 weeks, I needed to be writing, but I had to be shade tree mechanic for my car.
Mm.
It came home from work one day. The cruise control wouldn't work.
Oh,
I tried to get it cut on the entire way home. Uh, Parked the car. Um, Next morning, went out. Battery's dead as a doornail. Won't start. Had to drive my
oh.
wife's car. Got home and started checking stuff out. I thought, okay, okay. There's the alternator is about 7 years old and it's covered in oil and road dirt. Maybe that's the problem. Swapped that out.
Mm-hmm.
Tried charging up the battery. The battery would not hold the charge anymore. Went and got another battery. Um, uh, then I was putting everything back together, and I noticed the brake lights were on, even though the key was not in the ignition.
Oh.
Yes, turns out there was a little plastic pad that sits on the arm of the brake pedal that activates the switch for the brake
Mm-hmm.
lights. And if that doesn't work, cruise control won't work because it thinks the brake pedal has been depressed.
Ah.
Um, so it took me one day to replace the alternator, which the last time it took 3 days. So I'm improving. It took me 2 days to get the fan belt hooked back up because it kept popping off of one uh, uh, pulley when I was trying to get it on all the other six. And it took me 2 days to do that. Last time I managed to do it in one day, but it did take me 3 days to get the alternator back on. And then for the last week, I've been uh, basically laying down on the floorboards of the car trying to figure out why I cannot get a replacement plastic piece to go in the brake pedal arm. I finally got it today. I finally got it in there today. Brake lights are off. Everything's hooked back up. I will test the cruise control tomorrow when I go out to get to resupply my beer for Sunday, but I can't do that until 12:30. And basically, since got stupid o'clock and last man standing tonight, it means I'll probably sleep till 12:30 tomorrow if I get up that early. But no, I'm looking forward to finding out whether or not everything is still working. At least I got the brake lights where they're off, so
That is good.
the battery is not being drained. I do. I will have to get back underneath the steering wheel there in the floorboards and get that brake light switch at the exact perfect point to where the switch gets pushed all the way, but it doesn't stop the brake pedal from coming all the way back up. And that's going to take a little bit extra adjustments, but I know how to do it. It's just going to be
Doing it.
one of those painstaking things. It's going to be annoying while I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
it. It, you know, And then today I sat and went over the rest of the stuff that is not 100% on the van, and I ordered replacement front turn signals, the sockets that the light bulbs go in. Both of them on the front are messed up, and I've got one of them rigged up where it'll work, but I can't rig up the other one, so I'm just going to get brand new ones and replace both of those. Uh, got 4 fog lights on the van. One works. Cannot replace the bulbs. They are made not to be able to be replaced. They're
Oh,
soldered in place. They're hardwired. So I got I ordered LED fog lights, which
hmm.
were not in existence when I put the original fog lights on. I've got a CB radio, which is really good for emergencies when you're taking a long trip, but not much use other than that. And the one I got now seems to have shorted out. It doesn't work. Got a brand new teeny tiny one that's much smaller than the huge thing that I've got right now. Replace that. I've got a new backup camera that if I wire it up right, it is an addition to the rearview mirrors.
Hmm.
And because of the wide angle lens on those things, it almost totally eliminates the blind spot between the internal rearview mirror and the wing mirror on the door. By
Yes.
the by the time a car disappears in the wing mirror, the front of that car is still on the backup camera. I can see it
Hmm.
right up until like that much before I can actually see it out of the corner of my eye through the driver's door window. It's a whole lot safer. Let me tell you,
Yes.
it's a whole lot safer to have that blind spot reduced to just fractions of an inch rather than several feet.
I have to I have to sit and joyride in a freight truck 5 days a week. I We love our cameras. There's one for literally every single angle. If we turn on our signal to go somewhere, there is a camera that shows our entire side besides the mirrors. We go backward, camera.
Mm.
It's great.
I'm actually I've got one picked out to replace one it's a wide angle for the front, but it also uh, sees in a limited way in infrared after
Yeah.
dark. Now I thought about getting infrared spotlights like fog lights, but
Mhm.
they're bright red in real light, which you cannot put bright red
No,
lights on the front of a vehicle in the U.S.
no, don't do
Those
that.
those are
No,
for the
do
back
not.
only. Those are for the back only. You can't put them on the front. Now, if I could find uh, an IR projector that was white light, like a
Yeah.
fog light, I could put those on, but not red. No.
No.
Um, One of these days they'll make those. They don't make them right now that I'm able to afford or
Mm.
find with an easy search of automobile shops and part stores. But one day they will have, and I'll be able to see a deer at 100 yards when I can't see the darn thing in my headlights that only go 25 yards.
Yeah.
So, and living out in the middle of nowhere like I do, seeing a deer standing in the middle of the road going, "What's that noise?" is a
Hmm.
really important thing when you're driving down the road
Oh
after
yes.
dark.
Oh, oh man.
Oh, and I also found out if I take the stand off of my GPS, it fits almost perfectly inside the instrument cluster on my dashboard,
Ooh.
right over the speedometer. But it has its own speedometer.
Mm.
So I'm not missing anything. Just slide that in there. There's no glare. All I have to do is look down like I was looking at the speedometer. There's my GPS.
Yeah.
So, used to had it stuck on the dashboard, blocking part of my forward vision, but now it won't be blocking anything. Oh, here comes Rich again. Hey, glad to have you back.
Welcome back.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, without internet here, having to do
Ah.
everything through the phone just decided to have a heart attack.
Ah,
Hmm.
it happens. It happens.
Truly. I've got to replace our Wi-Fi router. It's about 7 or 8 years old, and not only does it mess up my wife watching her Roku TV in the living room, she cannot, when she's on her cell phone or her iPad or her tablet, she pretty much has to come back here to the office
Mm.
to be able to get a connection. Now,
Wow.
hey, it sometimes everything will work. We've got a repeater in the middle of the hallway, a booster. Sometimes she can be at the other end of the house, like 50 feet away, and still get the Wi-Fi. But it's not dependable 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Her cell phone, if she wants to send me a message, she either has to go out on the front porch and use her data,
Mm-hmm.
or back here to the office to use the household Wi-Fi to get to the phone lines to get to the cell tower to send me a message. And it's we've got horrible internet here, but it's the only game in town. There's not an alternative we can go to. There's only one company.
Mm.
There's another one that's trying to be competition, but they don't have the infrastructure yet. They're
Yeah.
working on it. They're working on it. Soon as they get the infrastructure, I'm assuming my original provider will all of a sudden wind up with all this extra capacity that they've not been giving us, even though we're
Oh
paying
yeah.
for it. Uh, Everybody got to cheap out just to make a profit.
Monopolies are the worst to have in an area.
Yes, yes. But this has been the only game in town for the last over 20 years
Yeah.
since I
No,
bought
I
the
believe
house.
that.
Um, Only time I had absolutely dependable internet was when I had a dedicated long distance line
Mm.
from my trailer to Atlanta, where my ISP was. So I had local phone service, absolutely fine. Dedicated long distance line that was hooked up to the modem, that's it. Straight to the ISP, no dropouts, no nothing.
Mm.
And it was relatively inexpensive.
Mm.
Got out here, got the one phone company, that's it.
Yeah.
Um, I get what they're willing to give me on any particular day. Some days it's blazing fast. Some days it's like, dial this
Mm-hmm.
back. You're throttled for no particular reason. It's not because I'm late on the bill, because it's automatic payment straight out of my bank account. I don't even have to write them a check.
Lately here, whenever we're above 25 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit, something about there,
Mm-hmm.
my provider always has problems in the evening. So yeah, doing my evening, like doing, hang on animation on Thursday nights. Like last Thursday, literally half an hour before I had to go live, I didn't have internet for 10 minutes. And you're sitting there going, right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes back and it has no problems at all. And then you get a text message, we're having problems. No,
Could have fooled
no.
me. Nope, nope. I don't get any messages about that stuff. I'm sitting here and I go, what do you mean I can't get on the line?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first hour for me.
Reboot the modem, reboot the router, reboot the computer. That didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm out of options here. I've turned it off and turned it back on again. Now what?
Yeah. No, like it's exactly the same here. Like every time it's just
Oh,
getting warm. I think their servers just give out or something. Have a lovely evening, Donna. Sleep well.
good night, Donna.
Not done.
Okay.
Hopefully the raindrops on the rooftop will let you sleep like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
That means it's on its way here. Um,
Yeah. Mm.
but
Oh, y'all weren't in Stupid O'Clock when I made the announcement. I found out through experimentation
Mm-hmm.
that my brand new computer desk chair is what's causing all my back pain
Yeah,
because
that'll do the trick.
it's too tall.
Oh, can we switch?
It was cutting off the circulation in my lower legs,
Mm.
and it would not drop down another couple of inches to make it okay. Um, so tonight I was outside on the front porch sitting in a wooden deck chair with no pain whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, baby, where'd we buy these chairs? She goes, I ordered those from Wayfair. And I'm going, damn, I wish it was Walmart. I could go get another one tomorrow. And my wife is so pissed. She bought that desk chair for me. Brand
Aw.
new. I mean, it was not cheap. And it was comfortable temporarily. And then all of a sudden, sciatic pain started
Mm-hmm.
really messing with me. And I was about to make myself sick trying to take over-the-counter painkillers enough to not be in agony while I was doing a show or
Yeah.
sitting here trying to type or even watch a YouTube video. So I brought in
Back.
the deck chair, put the desk chair out in the hallway, and I'm sitting here, no cushions, no padding, no nothing, in a hard wooden chair, and I am damn near pain free.
define couple of inches. I mean, literally 2 inches or
About 3 to 5. I took the wheels off the chair and it was still a little bit too tall. The air cylinder
you
that
got a
supports
four
the
by four
chair,
sitting around the house?
huh?
You got a 4x4 sitting around the house?
Well, I don't need to raise it up. I need to drop it down.
No. 4x4 under your feet to raise your feet up.
Oh, I've done that. I've got an ammo box under my feet, actually. Only Americans will use
Okay.
an ammo box for a footstool. Uh, No, I took the wheels off the desk chair, and it was better, but it was not pain free.
Hmm.
Went and got the hard wooden deck chair, almost totally pain free. I have not had to take a leave all evening.
Good.
Yeah, because that stuff is not good for my liver or my kidneys.
No.
So we are going
Yeah, my
to
desk
look.
chair gets here Tuesday.
We are going to look at swapping that desk chair for one that is not quite so tall. First, I'm going to look into buying new air cylinders that will go closer to the floor
Hmm.
than this one, if I can get them to fit the top part of the chair and the wheel assembly. If I can't do that, we will. I will go to like Office Depot and test sit chairs to find
Hmm.
out which ones don't hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I find one that doesn't hurt. I don't care what it costs. And we will either use the one I've got now that hurts as a Christmas present to somebody, and hopefully they don't have any back problems to start with, and this won't cause them any. Or we will take this bugger to Goodwill and go, it's your problem now.
Hmm. I actually got this desk chair for 15 euros at a thrift shop as well, and I don't care. Like, using it for 3 years now. It still works. It's a little scratch from this little bugger, but
Yep,
you know,
yep. And Lindsay was just apologizing like crazy tonight when we finally
uh,
figured it out. It was the chair. And she goes, I made you get rid of the chair that didn't hurt you because it was old and bent and had holes in the upholstery. I got you a brand new chair and it hurts you, and I'm so sorry. And I'm going, honey, you didn't have any way of knowing, and neither did I. It's not your fault. It's not my
no,
fault. Uh, it just, who would have thought that a chair is going to cause you pain?
honestly, that is the most common reason people have back issues, like sitting too much in the wrong kind of chair.
Nah.
Like that is the number one reason people will start getting sciatic pain. That and flat feet.
Mm. Well, I figured out that the reason that the sciatic pain started was because I had an attack of shingles,
Hmm.
and I now have nerve damage from that. I did not have it before, but the after the shingles were gone,
Hmm.
the pain lower down closer to my bones started exactly where the shingles started. Spread through my arm,
The gift that
spread
keeps
through
on
my
giving.
leg. It's just one of those things, and from what I have been told by other people who have suffered from this same malady, the pain never goes away.
No.
Once it
Once you have
starts,
it,
it's
it's there.
permanent.
Yeah. The same with tinnitus, stuff like that.
Yep,
Once it's there, you're not going to get rid of it. You can only help make it less.
yep. And thankfully, this hard ass
There's only
chair
one
actually
cure and it
doesn't
cures
hurt.
everything.
Sorry?
Yeah, but I'm not willing to go that far because I don't look I don't
Nor
look good
I.
in black.
Like, um, I've had back pains only once. Being in construction since I was 12, going along with my dad, then, doing it full time properly. The only time I got back issues was when I didn't lift anything for 2 years drawing comics and then going into my current side job.
Uh huh.
First week was fine. The second week, was deadly.
Yeah, really. Huh. Dude, you strained us. We're now going to tell you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It took 3 weeks. Oh boy, never again. And yeah, I've heard horror stories about back pain.
Mm,
A friend of mine has to go to the pain clinic every 3 months to get a lower back shot to dial down everything. Like
mm. I,
it
I,
should.
I really do not want to go that far.
No,
I
like
really,
get a new
because,
chair.
yeah, a new chair. I'm willing to pay for that. Shots. Once I go down that road, there's
Yeah, no.
no, there's no turning back. It's a one-way street with and no return access.
Hmm.
You know,
No, like
now for some people, it's the only choice they've got.
yes,
I'm
of course.
hoping
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm hoping I'm not on that bus. So and I'm not putting anybody down because they've got to go get shots for stuff that hurts as badly as what I know pain to be.
My
But
own chair is actually too low for me. Like I'm 6'8". I need a chair that is 55 centimeters, and this one goes only to 52. It doesn't sound like much, but that 1.25 inch is exactly what is not causing me a lot of trouble because my table is the right size. Like it's 80 centimeters instead of 75. Um, Sorry, Americans. I know I don't have the mental capacity right now to switch it around.
I have European engineers. I have to translate.
Yeah,
Um,
no, like it can be really bad.
Send me your mailing address. I'll let you have this damn chair I'm trying to get rid of. I'll pay the postage. Uh,
That would be a lot, though. Actually, no, because one big package would.
it it un it un it undoes into a flat pack.
Hmm.
As long as you got a Phillips head screwdriver, you can put it back together.
Oh no, don't worry. Like, I was a construction worker. And I'm a mover now. You need stuff. Yeah, there is a pile of. I'll probably use that one wrench someday, and it's like a size 13 and a half that one single IKEA thing uses.
Yeah, they make their own tools so that your tools don't work.
And the worst part is that as a mover, I've had to use that thing 3 times already, and the only time I used it before was on my own bed. Yeah, no, like they are so specific, it's not even funny anymore.
Oh, I know. I've got like 5 or 10 toolboxes around the house somewhere, and most of them are full of stuff that I had to buy because it was one of those special manufacturer-made tools
Hmm.
that only recently became available. Oh yeah, yep.
So, yeah, um, it has a
Phillips
Phillips.
head on one end, hex in on the other.
You know what this is for? My
I know
pen
what I could
display.
use it for, but
I could use it for a million things too, and I have. It's for my pen display. So it's for my drawing screen. Like it came with my drawing screen, and it is a special size that
oh
only
Lord,
fits on these. It's the worst.
it's like 6.5 centimeters.
No, I think this is 4.5 millimeters
Ah,
because centimeters are, like double
yeah,
this.
I know. I used the wrong prefix. I'm used to thinking in yards
Yeah.
and acres and not millimeters and centimeters. Yeah. Um, Rich's internet is
Yeah.
cut him off again. So he's not going to retry, but he says hopefully he'll be able to come back next week. But it's kind of
Yeah.
frustrating
Hopefully.
for him. So hey,
No, I
I
completely get
understand
that.
completely. I
Oh
understand
yes.
completely.
Oh no, it's one of my biggest frustrations this week has been delivery.
Mm,
So DHL delivers all my comic books. Half the time I can adjust it so I can have it delivered in the evenings or the next day or something like that.
yeah, when you're home.
Yeah. For my latest one, I haven't been able to for some reason, and it's like half half. So they came around on Tuesday going, yeah, you're not home. I wasn't. I knew that. Usually, sometimes they allow me to make a new appointment after that. They didn't either. So on Wednesday, I asked my mom, hey, could you spend 2 hours here? Like, they always arrive between, woo, like, they always arrive between 12 and 2, you
Yeah.
know? So if you can spend that time there here, the cat will love you anyway. Like, she
Hmm.
won't be alone as much. My mom enjoys herself with the cat. They didn't even ring the bell. And so at 1:30 in the afternoon, I get a message. You can now pick up your uh, your boxes at the DHL distribution center.
Which is nowhere near close.
No, 18 miles away. Hooray!
I have to drive that far just to get to work.
There are 4 boxes weighing about 20 kilos each, filled with comics. Even with my,
Jeez.
my bicycle and my bike trailer, which would fit it,
Yes,
not
yes,
fun.
yes. No.
So,
I keep forgetting. This is America. Everybody's got 5 cars.
yeah, but I
Well,
don't have a
we only have
license.
2, but you know.
Like, okay, it's the same in the Netherlands. Don't worry about that. But I don't have a license, so I can't have a car.
You can
My
have a
mom,
car, you just can't drive it.
yeah, I can buy one, but I'm uninsured in the whole shebang. And trust
Hmm.
me, if they find you, you're so many levels of fucked.
Look, officer,
So,
I just polish it. It just sits out here in the driveway. I don't drive it.
nonetheless, my dad came home on Wednesday from his vacation and was like, "Yeah, we can pick it up on Saturday." Because Google said DHL distribution is open on Saturday.
What you
Check the
want to
box.
bet that Google's wrong?
100 fucking percent. So
And
yeah,
you know, the worst thing is they got that information from DHL, who wants
yep.
you to think that they're open on Saturday, but no, we're all
No.
in Spain right now because it's the weekend.
So yeah, my dad is just gonna pick it up for me on Monday, and I
Mm.
gotta drop off my ID card with him. Be like, okay, like here you go. Have a note with it. Like these are the numbers, and
Look,
we'll
I've got
hopefully
his
go from
birth
there.
certificate. It's my son. Give me the boxes.
Yeah. So yeah, because I would very much like to be able to take the Oswald Chronicles as well to my upcoming conventions. And I got another one coming, but because I told my side job I can work full time until the end of August.
Mm.
Yep.
You're kind of committed to that, even though emergencies have occurred where you wish you hadn't committed to that, but
Mm-hmm.
too late. You don't get advance notices of emergencies happening.
No.
Life don't work that way.
Look, life happens while your hands are making a plan.
Yeah. And no plan survives first contact with the enemy.
No. Like it's it's frustrating, but the thing is, like, I can't do much about it. So I'm just gonna like, yeah, well, how do we solve it? And that's the thing too. Like, you can bitch about it, but nobody will care. I'm the guy taking care of it, so I'm gonna do it.
Yep. Complaining makes you feel better temporarily, but it doesn't solve the problem.
Exactly.
The key word is temporarily. Sound like I know what I'm talking about, huh?
hmm Don't go into publishing, people. It's frustration all the way. But here we are, doing it anyway,
Yep.
because
Because there's no other way to get the work out there, and you've got to do the
no,
work, or you'll go crazy.
exactly.
I'm creative. I know the reasons why it's frustrating to be creative.
The worst part is that I am so busy with other people's works right now that I don't have the time to do my own creative work.
Yep.
I've
I
been I've been using conventions, tabling as my time off to draw.
Well, that does get people to walk up to the table
Oh,
and
for
try and
sure.
figure
No,
out what you're doing. So that
it
gives you a
does.
chance to go, I got to quit now and talk to you. Yes. Can I sell you something?
No, honestly, like they often come to me about inking techniques. I'm like, oh my
Mm.
god, you're so brave for using traditional inking. And I'm here going, well, you know what? It makes you confident. Like
There's a
painting
reason
and
why it's
inking.
traditional.
Yeah, no, but like
It
it
freaking
really,
works.
yeah. Like digital inks are amazing, and I have nothing against it, but not being able to zoom in, not being able to undo means that you got to be confident in what you do, and it feels amazing.
You, you know what you use when you're doing things by hand and you need to zoom in?
Now you bend
That
over
and
more.
a, that and a 000 paintbrush.
Yep. Now it's going to be an outside convention next week, so I'm gonna have a market stall. No,
Last
not
time you did that, it rained.
yeah. Well, this is only one day, and we're currently going through a heat wave.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, I remember
so
that.
we're fine. Um, well, I don't know for next week, but it's looking like it's going to be bad Monday through Wednesday, and after that, it's going to just pick back up. So I'm not too worried. And I ordered a new banner for Fairies and Ends showing off the new series as well,
Uh huh.
which is made of PVC, and I can hang it up behind me.
Oh, and weather will not hurt it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it will block the rain. Triple win.
Oh, Lord. Yep. I had a tarpaulin stretched from the chain link fence hooked up to the luggage rack on my van, where I could open the hood of the van and be working under the hood and not get rained on,
Yeah.
which came in handy because it's rained every day for the last 3 weeks, even if it's only for an hour or
Yeah, we
15
could use
minutes at
some
a
of that.
time. I'm only able to work on the van when I'm home from my day job, or sometime on the weekend when it's not, shall we say, half the boiling point of water outside,
hmm
um, and that's in the shade. With about 100% humidity, 120% humidity some days. It's Georgia.
Yep.
If you're thirsty, you can just reach out, grab a handful of air, and wring the water out of it. It'll be
Yep.
warm, but it's still water.
But it's moisturizing. You're gonna feel sticky.
Oh, yeah, oh yeah. You feel sticky from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, And the
Mm-hmm.
only reason you don't feel sticky while you're asleep is because you're asleep.
Yep.
Oh, we can run. We got a dehumidifier in the middle of the hallway, center point of the house. It can pull 2 gallons of water out of the air in less than 90 minutes.
I believe that. Yeah. It's
The only reason we don't leave it running 24/7 is it eats electricity
mm-hmm.
like a pig eats corn. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's as much electricity as you're willing to let it have, it will swallow every erg. And that
Yeah.
gets expensive.
No, I got a small swamp cooler tower that is in my
Oh, those
bedroom.
there's a couple of places at work, mostly in the places where the mechanics work. They've
Mm,
got their own little I don't want to call it tool shed. It's more of a shop
yeah. A
basically.
little workshop.
They've got everything laid out there where they can use it, all the machine tools, all their wrenches, all everything else. But they got a swamp cooler that's about 8 feet square,
Mm-hmm.
and it keeps the place cool even when it's 100 degrees outside and 98% humidity, which is typical for Georgia. And you go in there. They don't have air conditioning, but that swamp cooler makes it feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, no, like I can put a ice block in the back and it'll cool me all night long. It feels so good. Just take it out in the morning, put it in the freezer again, put it back in the evening. I don't mind being hot all that much. Like I'm a thin dude. Like I'm a stick. So I lose with a lot of body surface area. I mean, I'm 6'8", so I lose my body heat very quickly.
Yep.
I don't care about being hot too much. I'm actually gonna go mountain biking, and it's 110 today, so I'm gonna be fine. So yeah, like that. I don't care too much about that, but I gotta be cold when I sleep.
Mm,
Like for some reason, I cannot sleep in the heat.
mm. Personally, I cannot stand being cold.
Mm.
It gets down below 70 and I start shivering, my lips turn blue, my teeth start chattering, my fingers turn blue, all of my blood rushes to my core trying to keep my heart
Hmm.
going, and I'm going, this is not normal. But no,
Yeah,
I have become acclimated to close to 100-degree heat.
yeah.
So when it's not, I get uncomfortable.
For me, like I'm used to four seasons properly.
Mm,
So, we have winters below freezing, we have summers that are getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Winters are getting shorter too,
yep.
but like I can at least wear like I can adjust my clothing to the weather. Um, where being too hot, you can only take off so many layers until you start oozing out of places where it shouldn't.
Rich just said he starts sweating when it's 10 degrees above freezing.
Yeah, I can too. Trust me, especially when moving boxes and stuff.
Oh
But at
yeah, yeah.
10 to 15 Celsius is where I'm like, this is nice. That is late fall, early spring weather for us.
Yeah, I find uh mid 70s to high 80s
Hmm.
comfortable. When it's high 80s, I may not be wearing a shirt, but it's not sweat while you're sitting still kind of
Yeah,
weather.
exactly.
But when it gets down cold, thankfully I have lots of cold weather gear because the factory has taught me to dress according to how it feels, not what I'm going to be working in. I can always take clothes off if I get overheated. Once I get down to bare skin, there's not much else I can take off.
Hmm. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, and that is like my main issue because I do want a weighted blanket on me, but the weighted blanket is a lot, have warmer than I can handle. So long live swamp coolers.
Yes. I don't know about a weighted blanket, but I do like to have a cat curled up on my feet
Hmm.
or a puppy.
Hmm.
It's been
Yeah.
a while. It's been a while. Our dogs are no longer with us. But they were wonderful bed warmers uh,
Oh yeah.
back back in the day. Um, uh,
All right, Rich. Have a wonderful evening and sleep well.
Good night, Rich. Yeah, starting to nod like me in the green room. Um, yeah, last night a lot of that was just pain.
Hmm.
I was going, oh God, this hurts, this hurts, this hurts, and everybody thought I was asleep.
Hmm.
Now I do nod off no matter what show I'm in from time to time, and
Yeah, we
and
know. We know.
I have I have absolutely no shame.
Yeah.
Um, I'm 65 years old. I'll sleep when I damn well want to, even in mid word. I have no choice in the matter. It's like, oh, you want to keep going for another 90 minutes? We're going to take a nap. Ah,
Come on, baby. I know you want to get on my lap. Good girl. There she is. Little personal
yeah.
space invader. Been keeping me up all night again.
Yep, we've got about six on the porch and the other six inside the chain link fence in the backyard.
Hmm.
But at one time we had 20.
That is a lot.
Yeah, well, we started off with two.
Hmm.
Um, one of them had four kittens. Those four kittens had more kittens. Those kittens had more kittens. Uh, it cost a lot to get them all fixed.
Yes.
We did eventually manage to find the money,
Hmm.
but by the end there we had 20. Um, we would only have uh, 10 right now, but one of them was feral,
Hmm.
and well, a 12th one was feral and came up out of the woods and has adopted my wife as his personal protector and hero. And oh Lord, I can't. When he comes in, I can't even walk through the room he's in without him heading and hiding under her chair.
Aw.
I mean, he's a beautiful cat. Absolutely, he looks like a Maltese, just solid
Hmm.
gray. But he accepts her. I'm
Big scary
probationary.
guy.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm probationary. He hasn't accepted me yet, but yeah.
If you want to, if he's looking at you, slowly close your eyes, then blink, because that is cat's body language of I accept you, thank you for being here. As long as you lock eyes and do that, it should help him grow on you.
Mm, I was thinking more sardines or
Those help too, but like if the fear is still there,
Yeah.
like you generally want to focus, like look at the body language, like the same with Shelby, like when we have, when she's cuddling like this, she usually looks up like me at me, and I blink at her, and she blinks back, which means we love each other. It's adorable. It's and you know it's not going to have a reaction at first, but you will find that it will really help with growing a connection with any cat you have.
Well, it's hard to make eye contact with him when he's hidden bat out of hell mode into the woods
Yeah,
because he saw me.
but
So I'm
whenever he's
I'm working on appearing non-threatening and being just kind of slow and soft and gentle and let him run around, and sooner or later he'll get used to me. It,
yeah.
he's young yet.
Hmm.
The rest of them are 14, 15 years old.
Ooh, yeah.
He
Okay, there.
he's just barely coming up on 2.
Hmm.
So he hadn't had that much time to acclimate to us, but Lindsay's the one that feeds them.
Hmm.
So
That'll do
he,
it.
yep, he got used to her real quick, and he used to wouldn't even come on the porch.
Hmm.
He'd come up and eat, and then run back off in the woods. Now he'll come up on the front porch and he'll stay there all night long, and sometimes he'll even come in the house. But he stays close to her because she's the mistress of the can opener.
Yep. It's always great to see cats, and see them get adjusted to you. It took my she was I took her to my grandma's the first time last week. Well, 2 weeks ago by now. It took my grandma 2 days to get her to sit on her lap, and once Shelby was far enough, it was like, okay, you feed me, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
She realized that my grandma tends to fall asleep in front of the television a lot.
As you
Usually,
do.
as you do. Um, and she loves watching whodunits. We both do. That is our, that is our
Yeah.
grandma grandchild thing together. Which usually means that about 2 minutes in, she falls asleep up until 2 minutes before the big reveal. I have to
Uh
explain the entire plot to her,
huh.
and then she goes, "Oh," which is adorable. But that means that Shelby had a wonderful time sleeping on a lap that would not move.
But the cat figured it out 3 minutes in.
Yes, for sure.
Yep, because they're reading body language. They know who's the bad guy or girl, as the case may be. Uh, I can't tell you how many times that being a writer has ruined a TV show
Oh
because
yes.
in the first 5 minutes of the show, when you've got all of the character dynamics flowing
Mm-hmm.
and you've seen all of it, you go, he did it,
Yep.
and they're going to have a hard time proving it because he's smart, but they're going to get him.
Mm-hmm.
A minute and a half before the end of the show, the big reveal. I told you. Um,
Yep.
it's just once, and it's because it is scripted. It's because it is not real life, and
Yeah.
writer logic tells you how scripts work. So
Yeah.
you know how stories work. You know what the flow is supposed to be. Sometimes you wind up with those shows that don't follow the pattern, and you have to sit there through the entire thing, and you go, "Oh, this is good. This is good. I can't figure it out. I love it. I love it. I can't figure it out."
Yes. I mean, I read pretty much the entirety of Agatha Christie. I am just a huge whodunit fan as a whole. I really enjoy Trouble in Paradise. That's a
Hmm.
really good
Yes,
one.
yes, that's one of my wife's favorite ones. Yes.
Really nice unexpected reveals on that one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah,
I've been impressed.
yeah,
They have bypassed the writer logic a few times there in
yeah.
order to tell a really good story. The villain was somebody that you did not expect, even though the clues were there. They were very, very subtle clues.
One of my favorites, and it's more of a comedy, was Psych. It was one of those where, you got a con man playing a psychic because he's just very good at noticing things.
Yeah,
And it's really well made. It's one of those where they really subvert expectations, um, and come out with things where, like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. That is actually written a lot better than most whodunits.
uh huh. Okay, I'll tell you a really good one that I enjoy. She's almost as good as Agatha Christie, but the only reason it suffers is because Agatha did everything first.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, there's so many books.
Marjorie Allingham,
I think I've read some of her work, but
the Campion mysteries.
does ring a bell. May have to look it up.
Well,
May have probably read one.
there are I think four. Uh, well, they were split into two parts. There's four 4-hour things on Masterpiece Theater. Campion was played by Peter Davison, the
Hmm.
fifth Doctor Who.
Ah,
They Now those Masterpiece Theater ones are really, really good adaptations, but Miss Allingham has 20 or 30 of these things written before she passed away, and they go from when Campion was 20-year-old to when he's almost 70.
cool.
So you can pick those up, and there's there are some very original bits, and there are some very traditional bits,
Hmm.
and they are blended they're blended together very, very well. They're one of my favorites because they're not quite as um, they're not quite as obvious
Hmm.
at the very beginning, and they're not like everything is absolutely a mystery up until the last final reveal when there's some character that was in for like 5 seconds at the beginning
Hmm.
who turns out to be the ultimate big bad. No, that she doesn't work that way. It's um, a lot of it is character studies,
Hmm.
not only the heroes but the villains as well. So you get to see the motivations behind the
Yeah.
evil as well as the good. I really like things like that.
I
Um,
mean, Murder on the Orient Express was such a good one on that subject as well. You got the big bad guy that got killed because he did so many bad things, and everyone there technically was a victim that, you know, sorry guys, spoilers,
yeah,
but it's 100 years old by now. Nobody cares.
same plot as Orient Express, but on a boat on the Nile. Yeah.
Murder on the
Uh,
Links, Murder on the Nile.
yeah. And then there were none. Uh,
Yeah.
my mom has a very, very large collection of Agatha Christie novels. Um, and I started reading them back when uh, I should have been watching cartoons on TV, but I like
Yeah.
books. Um, so I cut my teeth on a classic master of or mistress of the art, and it's been in print. You can get away with a whole lot more subtlety than you can do in
Yes.
a 1 or 2 hour uh, or even a 4 hour uh, television production
Yeah.
because you've got certain beats you have to hit every 15 minutes. There has to be this, there has to be that. It has to this has
Yeah.
to precede that, it has to lead up to another thing, and then you get to the final 15 minutes with the big reveal,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a I hate to call it a formula, but it is a formula.
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
you have things that are uh, written mysteries that are very subtle, very, very artistically done, not typical. And then a TV production or a movie comes along and it has to hit those video beats
yes.
in order to work as a, a show or a movie. So things get left out, things get altered a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
And it is a limitation of the medium,
hmm
and writing is a lot looser when it comes to limitations, as long as you're a decent writer.
Yeah, if you're a good writer, you've got you've got a plot that you know what to do with, and you're really good at characterization. You can get away with all kinds of stuff in between. Suddenly, a shot rang out, and the butler did it.
Yeah.
There's room for a huge variation in between
Hmm.
the the beginning and the final wrap up on video productions, whether it's movies or TV. You've got these beats that you
Yeah.
have to hit each act, and it is very much like a play. The plot has to go to this point before the next act. Just
Yeah.
because you've got commercials stuck in there does not make it any less like a play.
Yeah.
Um, each has its own demands, and you can cross over from one to the other very
Of course.
once you understand the difference, once you understand the requirements for the different media, you can go from one to the other without a whole lot of trouble. Really, if you're a good writer, I'm fair to middling, but if you're really good, like the people whose books we buy, uh, you can really work wonders between the written word and the filmed word.
Yes.
Who else? Let's see. As far as written, Sue Grafton did some wonderful things with her. Uh, A is for Alibi. Basically, she did an alphabet series, but she passed away before she got all the way to Z.
Oh, that is cool though.
Yeah, and she's got a lady detective who's the protagonist all the way through, and lots of character development, lots of background characters. It's a really good exercise in world building. they're very very good stuff. Sue Grafton, I can't tell you. There's not a common name for them all, but
Mm.
it's like the first one was A is for alibi, and B is for whatever, and
Yeah.
it keeps going on until the last one she got to write. I think it was um, somewhere in the vicinity of X or W.
Oh wow.
She got
You've been busy.
almost to the end.
Yeah.
So they're really good stuff. I think if I remember correctly, the protagonist's name was Kinsey Milhone.
Hmm. I actually
Um,
started reading a very cool supernatural whodunit by a Dutch author. So it is in Dutch, but yeah, I'm a sucker for whodunits, and having just a minor supernatural element to it
mhm,
is very interesting. So the main character is can read auras, and she has to solve this mystery while being um, part of a plot that she doesn't know about, but we're seeing through different characters. And I'm only up to chapter 8, which is I think like 80 pages in. It's pretty short chapters, um, and you're seeing all sides. So you're seeing the villains, you're seeing everyone, and all the plot points coming together,
mhm.
but you're still very much interested in the main character's part in this story because she is completely oblivious to everything going on, but you as a reader can see where it's going, but you want to see her reaction. You
Mhm.
know, you can really feel that the character has no idea where to go with things.
Watch out for that guy.
Exactly. Like it's really well done, and
It's like Rocky Horror Picture Show. You shout at the screen, but they still keep making the same mistakes.
oh yes. Um, and I bought two of her books. I'm reading the first one right now, and the other one that I picked up because they were at the writers' market last week as well. The other one I picked up was a guy that I've been friends with for a long time, but I didn't go into his books yet. He pretty much did the same as La from Cora,
Oh,
but in prose form. So he made a world, made two books, and then let writers take a certain character that sometimes only appeared for one single line and make a story about those characters.
oh, okay, yeah.
I got the entire series. I'm first pushing through the ones I'm to through this writer first, but I am looking forward to seeing what he does with it. It's yeah, um,
That kind of shared universe thing is really fun.
it is. It
Not
is.
only for the reader, but for the writers as well.
Yeah.
And I
So
know that firsthand because I've done several shared universe sort of things. And when you know the background, you know the universe, and you've got a good grasp of the characters, you can turn out some stuff that is just mind blowing
yes,
and still not break the playground equipment.
exactly. Like these are the rules. Keep to them, and you're fine. You
Yeah,
know, and as a creator, as a creative, it is so great to be able to be limited because being able to work within a set of rules for yourself means that you got to be focused on everything that you can do, and sometimes the ability to just cross off what you're unable to do means that you feel more free.
Now, my Spaceport Bar series, it became a shared universe. So the I wrote two stories. Another fellow wrote a third story because he asked permission, and I go, "This is pretty cool. Somebody else wants to write something in the universe I created. Let's go."
Yeah.
Now it's over 100 stories by 30 different writers,
Oh, that is awesome.
and at the time, my my first book came out, which is a collection of my
Hmm.
stories set in the spaceport bar. I had 7. I wrote at least another 6 or 8 to go in that book that nobody had ever seen before, brand new ones.
Hmm.
And people have gotten fired up. They have done things that I would not ever imagine doing.
But that's the fun. Like
Yeah,
that is the thing. Like with my love and horror writers as well. Like they come out of the left field, and I'm like, you managed to put this into 32 pages of comic script. How? How did you even think of a creature like that? And it's incredible. Like that shared creativity is just amazing to work with. It's a collective brainstorm that not enough people want to accept as being a part of the process.
now what I have enjoyed is they go, I've got this, but I need something for right here. Can you drop me a hint?
Yeah,
And I go, um, okay, try this. See how you like it. If you don't like it, you
yeah,
don't have to use it. Don't have to say anything at all. Just try this little twist and see where that throws your plot and what you can do after
yeah.
that point. Um, there was one fellow that wrote um, that nobody had ever been able to steal anything from the bar or the
Hmm.
building it was in, which is like 100 stories tall. And the Thieves Guild on that planet were going, this is a personal challenge. We can't we
Yep.
can't get out of any we can't get anything out of there except maybe a napkin or a shot glass. We're paying big money for somebody that can get something worthwhile out of the building. So this guy goes, challenge accepted, starts uh, found a way to get to the roof of the building and in through an air vent, climbing down through the building to try and find some place where he can steal something and get away.
Yeah.
And runs into some rather unusual security arrangements. But there was one part where he gets out of the air vent into out of the vertical air vent into a horizontal air vent, and he's going along, finds a couple of traps, disarms them, gets through, comes to a grated window set into the wall, looks down in there and sees eyes glowing in the dark. And all of a sudden, something big and savage tries to reach through that vent and grab him, and he starts hauling ass. He can't go backwards, so he starts hauling ass forwards. Is the only way he can go. Goes all through stuff being chased by this critter who's running alongside the vent, and comes back to a vertical air shaft. Looks across, and sees his bag of burglar tools on the other side.
Ah.
There were no turns. There were no twists. It was a straight passage. The building warped. I love that one. I love that one.
Yes.
There was another
Oh
one
my God.
where there's a room in the bar, upstairs of the main bar, that is inhabited by deities, creatives, writers, and the bartender for that particular place where godlike beings come to order their own version of a gin and tonic or flagon of meat or
Mhm.
whatever. The bartender is Elvis Presley.
Of course. That's where they
Posthumously.
went.
Posthumously. Yep.
Give me
Turns
one
out.
second.
Oh, go right ahead.
Nature is calling.
Oh, that's one of the best things that I ever contributed to somebody else's story. The gentleman who was writing it was from Norway, I do believe, and he had no idea of what an American Southern accent would sound like. So he asked me, "What would Elvis sound like? I mean, how do I write Elvis Presley?" So I gave him a hint or two as to how Elvis would say things. And he took it and ran with it. I mean, really, I mean, he not only ran with it, he galloped for the horizon and made it. But basically, he's got the plot of the story was here's this uh, anthropology student working on his PhD, and he's studying comparative religions, basically,
Mm-hmm.
and winds up being sent to the room where the gods hang out.
Go talk to the guys.
Yeah, yeah. You go. Hey, you want to talk to somebody that created religions? They're up there. They're upstairs. Finds out that Jehovah of the Old Testament
Mm-hmm.
was also an anthropologist doing doing his PhD studies on Earth back in the day.
I approve.
And that's just the premise. It goes on from there.
Oh, that is awesome.
And he has a sequel that started off a priest, a rabbi, and a preacher walked into a bar.
Of course.
Yes, they are looking for God because God turned out not to be what they thought it was, and they were going to kill him.
Aha.
They didn't succeed, but the story went on from that beginning to incorporating a whole lot more. But the point about Elvis was that he had gotten tired of being so damn rich and so damn famous that he couldn't have a private life whatsoever. So one day he's off on his own in a Cadillac out in the middle of nowhere in a flying saucer lands, and he goes, "Can I hitch a ride?" Winds up on the alien planet, but because he had so many fans, and so many fans practically worshipped him as a god.
Mm-hmm.
The sheer belief granted him a minor godhood.
Oh, that is awesome.
The power of belief created the thing that they believed in.
Yeah.
And he said, it's like a fire hose. I couldn't escape it. All these people, all these people love what I did and went so far beyond what I did, making me more than what I was. I became more than what I was. So now I'm a
Metaphysical Discworld vibes there.
now I'm a bartender and I'm happy. And Thor, put that woman down.
Ha!
That's I mean that's the kind of thing that we did with that.
Oh, that
Uh,
is awesome.
you should read that stuff.
Yes, I really should.
That is still online. It's go to Aphelion, go to the um, what is it the series page, I do believe. No, mm, not. Let me look that up. I don't. Let me get. I don't want to give you incorrect information here. Uh, da, 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 da. This is a much faster computer than the other one. Yes, series. Uh, the Marinebrium Story Archive listed under the series
Hmm.
page. That will give you everything that has not been pulled to be printed uh, professionally so far. And you would be looking for let's see, the first story that was describing is Sociology Experiment by Wishbone.
Hmm.
Uh, Sheffield's 11th by Jeff Williams. And uh, where did come on now? I know it. Deus Ex Machina by Wishbone.
Of course. Gotta have that one in there.
Well, that's the one where the priest, the rabbi, and the preacher walk into a bar. Yeah, and those are not the best three or the most highly recommended three, but those were the ones that I was talking about.
Yeah.
So there are out of all of that stuff. If you see something with my name on it, all but one has been pulled because it's in the book.
Hmm.
Um, don't worry about that. But if you want to read the rest of them before I put an anthology together, better get hopping because there's a lot of them, and it might take you an hour or two per story, but usually it takes me about 45 minutes for the long ones. But I read really fast.
I do 50 pages in 15 minutes, so don't worry. I'm fast. I don't like reading on a screen. Um, that is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I just cannot seem to keep concentrating on the screen. It just makes my eyes hurt. But um, yeah, I like reading fast and a lot. So
This will be worth your while. I promise you.
oh, I believe that. No. Oh.
You getting tired?
Well, no, I'm planning around for the day. My dad should be here around 10:30. It's 8:45 right now.
Mm.
So, um, and we're gonna go mountain biking. There's a couple of tracks that we're gonna go to, and just rip for a few hours. But I got to fix some things on my bike first. So
Well,
it
it'll be good.
shouldn't take too much.
It'll be good exercise.
No, exactly. Like, and I love cycling. Like, I love doing bike tours. Last year, I did my first going from the top of the Netherlands down to the very bottom. That was amazing. You see so much. Though I spent most of it on Germany because they actually have hills, and I love, driving through hills. The Netherlands is flat. We kind of invented it, and then Florida perfected it.
Yeah, but Florida didn't do it underwater.
No, that is true.
The Netherlands did. And
Uh,
hey,
uh,
we're going to build a hill here because basically otherwise we'd have to live on boats.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, like we're discount Atlantis.
You're
It's a lot cheaper to
unflooded.
go here.
You're unflooded Atlantis is what you are
Yeah,
temporarily.
right until the dikes break.
If this was a green room, I could make a joke there.
I know. Trust me, I've heard it a million times.
I know, I know. I actually read it. Somebody else did it, and back in the '60s, and I'm going. That's so tasteless. I'm going to have to remember it.
Oh yeah. No, it's the first time my American ex heard that one, she couldn't stop wheezing for 5 minutes.
It's so obvious, though.
It is. Like, what do you call those things that keep the water out? Dikes. Really? You call them raging lesbians? Well,
No,
there's an I instead of a Y, but still funny.
it's one of those oddities of language that
Yes. It's the same way that a tank is the word for a tank, or a
yes,
polder is the name for a piece of submerged land that has been, dried out. Because that is a Dutch word. We are the only people in the world that actually have this ability to do so, apparently. So we call it a polder, and it's called a polder in the entirety of the world.
yep, confuses the crap out of the bears.
Yeah, we don't have those. Uh,
Yeah, I know they're Canadian and Alaskan.
no, we made an entire province in the last 70 years. So we decided, you know what, that sea right in the middle of the Netherlands, we can close that off. And then we decided, you know what, we got all this sand here, we might as well make a new province. So we did. Yeah, no, like legitimately, we need more food. Well, we got the technology.
What can we grow in sand? Tomatoes, corn, soybeans if we let a little bit of water in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Like yeah, the Netherlands is such a weird country because of that. It's just all over the place. It's hilarious. Um, and generally, if you want a manager's function, you like if anywhere in the world you're looking for a manager job, there's going to be like if you're looking at them, there's going to be a Dutch guy in there. He's going to be very tall. He's got to know exactly what everyone is up to, and he gets shit done. Like we're worse than Germans. Like it's so bad. Like we're literally worse than Germans, because the Germans they know industry. We make sure it runs efficiently for them. It's so weird. Also, the reason we're so tall, just in case the dikes break, we can actually, keep breathing above water. And yes, you're allowed to laugh at that because we do too. There is a cat that I'm totally jealous of because she is snoozing away right over there. Oh, let me check. There we go. There's the little bugger. And I wish that was me. Well, not on the styrofoam, but, Anyway, welcome to Mike's Happy Hour. It is 8:52 a.m. in the morning in the Netherlands, and I'm gonna go mountain biking in a little bit because I haven't had proper exercise outside of my side job for the last 3 months. I need to get out more. Work has been keeping me busy. I mean, I'm looking at 4 books coming up, and I have no idea how to afford it. So buy indie comics so I can make more indie comics. By all means, get love on Quora. Last weekend, I had a ton of people getting 1 issue and buying the rest the next day. So we got something good going on. I'm not good at talking on my own. I gotta admit, I'm feeling a little awkward, guys. I've been left alone. Don't leave me to my devices. In all honesty, it's really fun to talk here. There he is. I don't like being left to my devices.
I know. I was listening. I was listening. It's too bad that I couldn't leave the microphone live. But I thought of a joke. You've probably heard it a million times. Why do construction jobs in the Netherlands get done so quickly?
Go ahead.
Everything has to be finished before high tide.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Oh dear. No, I was standing in the bathroom going, "Oh, if I weren't going to the bathroom, I'd have the microphone live. I'd be able to respond to this." But
Yeah, no, legit.
no. I do believe flushing a toilet on the air is rather
Yeah,
uncivilized. But
yeah.
I'm
No, it's.
American. What do I know? One day we might have a civilization if we're lucky.
You know what America doesn't have, Europe does have, and a moldy piece of bread has too. Civilization.
Oh Lord.
Cultures. We have plenty.
Yes, definitely. Uh, well, we've got plenty of cultures too, um, but with the great melting pot we're supposed to be, it all becomes some sort of mulligan stew here. We're trying to mix and blend, and
Yeah.
everything's gonna come out nice and tasty, but those onions have got to cook a little bit longer. Uh,
Oh yeah. No, it's Amsterdam is the same. We are currently counting over 230 nationalities living there. It is absolutely insane with how many nationalities. We have the entire world in one city.
yeah, sounds like Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but probably more polite.
No. No. Amsterdam is a pretty shitty city.
I can't imagine people more rude than the ones I live around.
Okay, fair enough. It's not Paris, but the problem with so many nationalities that you don't know what kind of culture you're actually talking to. You don't know what is considered rude or whatever, to the point where everyone is minding their business so much that
Mm.
it's not fun to walk around anymore. The only
Yeah.
reason I go to Amsterdam is try and show my books to a local comic shop.
Well, the only reason I go to Atlanta is because they have stores there that are not available around here. And
Yeah.
if I don't want to mail order something, if I need to see it in person and it's not carried by anything around here,
Yep.
90 miles due west, there we
Hmm.
go. Everything's right there. Used to have to go to buy musical instruments
Mm.
and not from a pawn shop.
Hmm.
So if you wanted something brand new and it wasn't available around here, which is usually the case, you got to go over there
Yep.
and you've got to navigate the maze of roads that are not laid out in any logical form whatsoever. And this is the days before GPS. You had to have a paper map to get around. Um,
Oh yeah.
oh, first time I ever went to an Adamant concert
Hmm.
was in a very small auditorium in Atlanta. I had no idea how to get there. Looked it up on a paper map, had everything plotted out, still couldn't make much sense out of it, and had uh, three people from the college I was going to. They were about 5 years younger than me at the time. So they were just starting, and I was just about to run out of money. Uh,
Yep.
that's that's the only reason that I left college. I ran out of money.
Mm.
Had to go to work at the factory, and was only going to work there until I made enough money to go back to college. It's been 45 years. I still haven't made enough money. They keep making it more expensive. I can't afford it still. But thankfully, instead of the interior design degree that I was going after, I got a chance to become a musician and eventually to become a writer
Mm.
because I ran out of money for the interior design degree. So,
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I dropped from pretty high education here in the Netherlands down to trade school. Like it's our trade school is lower than your college.
you say trade school like it's a bad thing. I mean, around here, you go to a trade school, you come out with
Yeah.
certifications that will get you a very good job.
Okay, they will pay well, but you got to keep in mind that if you can't do anything, you become a paver because at least you have muscles so you can use those. Because two brain cells hitting together, that is asking a lot of these guys. My dad teaches the classes. My dad is not a stupid guy. I do not envy the kind of things that he has to go through on a daily basis
Mm.
with these guys because, man. So, John, what is 8 plus 2? 30 minutes later, Paul, that is a trick question. You can't make me answer this. That literally happened. So, you know,
Oh, over here, the trade schools would teach you how to be a welder, which means 50 grand a year, first day,
mhm,
um, um, HVAC, heating and air conditioning. That is extremely skilled labor. Uh, Metalworking, all kinds of things like that. You go to college, you wind up with a degree in underwater basket weaving,
Mm-hmm.
or some other California subject, and there are no jobs. Um,
No, but that's the thing. Like trade school is definitely one of the better paying things that you can do for the rest of your life. It's going to be physically intense, obviously,
yep.
but yeah, okay. Carpentry, paving, road working, all those things pay well. You kind of go, you kind of lose your sense of reality about 3 months in if you've got more than two brain cells because you can't do this if you've got more than two brain cells. It's
Oh, I don't know.
just
Carpentry can be art.
carpentry is art.
Carpentry carpentry is basically sculpture.
Yes, and I agree. That is one of the higher ones, and the better guys go there. But paving, no, mate, it's insane. Like,
It's hard work. It's difficult work. It's uncomfortable, no matter what season.
yeah,
But
and
somebody got to do it. Otherwise, cars got no roads to go on.
keep in mind in the Netherlands we use brick roads
Hmm.
and tiles sidewalks. So yeah, there's a lot of technique that goes into it. You throw it out the door because someone else puts it out for you, and you just make sure it's flat. It's yeah, you learn a lot, but you throw it all away. But I got positive PTSD from it because of those guys, so I can't even hold a hammer anymore. Um, and it paved my way into going. You know what? I can value the suck. This is what I never want to do again, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna go and be an artist. So here we are.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, like I said, I was in training to be an interior designer, which is like uh, architect light.
Yeah. No,
You you don't get to design the building, but you get to design the interior of the
yes.
building, and then pretty much found out that people with that degree are working locally as janitors because there are no jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have to spend all that money to wind up pushing a broom.
And here's the thing too. There's nothing wrong with physical labor.
Oh
I
Lord, no! I've
love.
been doing it for years.
Yeah.
It's given me the freedom to explore my artistic talents. It's given me the ability to buy a house and land. It's
Yeah.
given me the ability uh, to be a married man and raise children. I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
And
Um,
the thing is too that they're reliable jobs
yeah.
because the world doesn't stop building. And on that regard, there is nothing to be ashamed of when you're doing these jobs. Personally, I don't want to be found dead working it.
Well, the last fellow I knew who was a professional bricklayer was also a pastor at the local church.
Hmm?
Bricklayer bought groceries. Pastor gave him fulfillment.
Yeah. And that's how I did my life for a long time too. And I did commissions and art on the side, and I have my full time job paying for displays and everything. But at some point, the PTSD was getting so bad that
Mm.
I was starting to get anger issues from just working there. That is why I went, okay, I literally can't do this anymore, and I'm just going to take a side job that takes 2 or 3 days a week so I can afford this place and I'm going to grind into my art. You make hiccups, you have problems, that's fine. But
Yep.
it was never my intent to be like, I'm going to be an artist and I've never done it. No. Because plenty of us do that. You jump in and you hope for the best. Like, no, look at it realistically. If you need to take a side job, there's nothing wrong with that. I thoroughly enjoy working as a mover with people that, do not do everything to fuck you over. Because that is also the thing that is a problem there. And, you got to get something done and you want to be home in time. And if it's 6 p.m., then you're lucky. So, you all put in the extra effort to be home in time because you want to go home to your families, or in my case, my cat. And whatever you do on the side is up to you. But, on moving days, because it's more intense than construction, trust me, I don't do art. Because I literally can't. It's too tiring.
Yeah. By the time you get home, you don't want to do anything but chill out for a little while and sleep.
Yep.
And you're lucky if you get to chill out before you sleep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I don't get to chill out. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I get home usually between 5 and 6 p.m. usually, and then. I got 2 hours until 8 p.m. to get my dinner in and, correspond with people. And after 8 p.m., I'm dead and I wake up at 4:30 again, work until I got to head out at about 6 a.m.
Yep.
And then do that kind of job too.
Well,
Healthy
we have
food and sleep.
Yes. Well, we have gone 2 hours, so I'm going to hit the button here and let you get off to your mountain biking with your dad and have fun.
Oh, yeah. Take it easy, man. Always a pleasure. And as always, well, hopefully see you next week.
Absolutely. I live for it, basically. It's not like I'm living to go to work. I'm living to come home from work.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we will see you when the next opportunity presents itself. And everybody out there that's watching on the replay, hope you had a good night. Hope we entertained you, and do something special for yourself. Don't know what it is. Don't care what it is. Just treat yourself special. Do something nice. And see if that doesn't brighten your world.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, lovelies.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.